Many people, many groups of people claim to know the way to God. Many people claim to know who God is and what God is like and how God does things. And that's a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of crap because they claim to know the way to God via the same way they know all the other things they claim to know. And the reason why it is a bunch of crap is because God is not able to be known. The nature of God in relation to man is that He is and remains He is and remains completely and totally hidden, unable to be seen by man. I mean, you look at the world, you look at what's been created, what's been engineered, and the complexity of life, and what has to happen on the most fundamental levels, and it's extraordinary and amazing. Yet at the same time, there's no trace or ability to observe and prove that there is any God. By inference, perhaps. And that's the state and nature of things. It's that way because God made it that way, because God doesn't want to be known. That runs contrary to religion. Religion says that God wants to be known. Religion says that God wants, the God that religion espouses wants the humans to realize that that God is the only God, even though that God is obviously hidden. So to say that we know the way to God, we know how to go to heaven, all you have to do is conform and be like us and do what we do and agree with us, then you will go to heaven. You will go to this place that's promised to all those who conform and be like we have agreed to be. In the very book that Christianity claims to be based on, to follow, the very book that it claims is completely infallible, the very book that Christianity claims to own for itself, claims that upholds its claim that it knows the way to God and it knows how to be pleasing to God, is the same book that contradicts it. Because Christianity, its main goal is to do what God obviously doesn't want done. Its main goal is to make and to keep this pursuit of God on a very generic level, so that anybody and everybody can be part of that institution by joining forces, joining into that institution by becoming one in agreement with that institution, by conforming to that institution's doctrines. That's what Christianity is all about. The most salient mission of Christianity is to convert. But what is that process of converting others? It's getting others to agree that your God is a better God than all the other gods. It's agreeing that that particular institution is the correct institution. It's agreeing with all the others who have agreed to agree. And there's a very powerful mechanism that is that agreement. The agreement that the humans make with each other is very powerful. But it's corrupt. It's part of this animal nature. It's part of the way that the animal that's evil works. It's foundational to the wickedness that is the human animal at its core. What it really is, beyond all the smoke, beyond all the words, beyond all the explanations of how man is sinful. But you can divorce yourself from that sin if you just do a little dance and say a few words and quote back this regurgitated dialogue that Christianity claims will make you right with God, the four spiritual laws or whatever. If you agree that the Jesus God is better than all the other gods, then you will go to the same place where all the other animals who conform to that same method of agreement will be with you, because they all agreed that the Jesus God is better than all the other gods. And all the others who refused to agree, who refused to conform to that particular institution, will not be there. They'll be in this other place, this awful place, this place where they're all being tortured forever in hell. It plays on the fear that's naturally in the animal. And the Christian leaders who maintain this institution are very good marketing people. They know how to exploit the fear that's in the human animal. And the promise of being in a good place instead of a bad place is upheld by all the others that you can look around and see agree with that institution that says, yes, all who conform to us will all go to heaven, and everybody else who doesn't conform, who doesn't agree with us, will all go to this terrible place where they're going to be tortured forever and ever and ever by this great Jesus God who they refused to agree with us about, that he is the better God than all the other gods.